Garrett Smith with the first censorship of the day, brought to you by YouTube again. YouTube censored me for sexual content. Really? You gonna try to pull that one? Okay. That's pretty silly. Do you think you're smart? Look at these smug moderators in YouTube. Trying to prevent civil discourse. They're trying to prevent people from having discussions. That's what they get paid to do. Just like the fourth grade teacher and every teacher thereafter has punished me for thinking. But that's a different subject matter a little bit. But that's what they do. That's what the dumb people do. This is democracy. This is the majority ganging up on the minority, right? And I'm the intellectual minority. So, YouTube restricted me for sexual content. That's just fucking ridiculous. So, we have here on YouTube a platform. I learned this from Steven Crowder, who I'm not a big fan of, but I've seen a couple of his videos. One video caught my eye, and he's talking about this video on YouTube called Dick or Dildo. And there's a whole channel of this sort of stuff. And Wavy Davy, I saw the video. And on the video, which is not age restricted for sexual content, there's a man, I think that's Davy, and then another man shoving something up that dude's butthole, and it's either a dildo or the other man's dick. Now, I don't care which way you want to look at it or how you want to guess it. You know, that's obviously sexual content, and it's not age restricted. It's child safe, child friendly content. The reason that the community guidelines are as vague as they are, and the reason we have a void for vagueness doctrine in the Constitution, is to protect against this problem. And the problem is that tyrants love vague rules. It gives them the power to do whatever they want to justify it. And humans are animals. We have a capability and capacity for logic and reason. But typically what will happen is people will make decisions based on their feelings and then use logic and reason later to dishonestly justify, switch the reason for why it is that they did what they did. Well, I did this because, put in a reason. Bullshit. They lie to themselves, and then they lie to everybody else, and they say they put a fucking reason on there. Bullshit. People use logic and reason to justify decisions that they have made based on their feelings. That's why the rules have to be vague. The rules are vague. They can do that. It's no different than the stupid cop who's in a bad mood, and he's going to find something. You're reckless driving, you're loitering, disorderly conduct. He'll make up a reason, and then they'll put resisting arrest. They'll find something. Oh, I smell weed coming out of your car. This sort of thing, right? This is typical tyrannical behavior. They love bullshit. They need it. They can't do what they want to do without bullshit. Because if they have rules that are clearly defined, then they have to play by those rules, and they don't want to. They want to do whatever they want to do. Absolute total power. That's what they want. So that's what they do. They make rules, and they act like they're rules, but they're not rules. We have this concept called the void for vagueness doctrine. And laws that cannot be clearly defined cannot be accepted. They cannot be enforced. And they must therefore be rejected in any court. Any court that sees this case, we've got a law here. Does the crime fit the law? What does the law say specifically? We don't have a clear definition. Throw it out. But we don't have that for private companies because they have freedom of speech. They can make up whatever bullshit rule they want. They can say, well, on Tuesday, yes means no unless we don't feel like it. And then that's the rule. You know, whatever you want. 2 + 2 is 5. When we feel like 2 + 2 is 5, they'll have rules that can be enforced one way, and they can turn around and enforce the rule another way. You can have two people going at it, and then they decide to take action on one side. Well, we had a mob attacking this one person, and this person responded to the mob, and well, they were violating the community guidelines. They were bullying. They were bullying the mob because they tried to defend themselves. You can't win with these rules. These rules are stacked in the favor of whatever it is that's influencing them. Now, a lot of people say, well, the social media companies have internal bias towards a leftist bias. Yeah. But worse than that, the fact that they have these rules means that the bias can come from any motivating factor. Once you have no moral, no ethics, no code to abide by, what are you left with? Nothing but power. So you get an entity that comes by and says, we want you to enforce the policy this way. Another one says, well, we want you to do it this way. They're going to do what seems to be giving them the most power, the most money, the most profit. Right? If they can get more users, if they can get another 1.5 billion users, they'll take it. Of course they will. So that's the problem, is that we have rules that are vaguely defined, inconsistently enforced, of course, don't mean anything, basically meaningless rules. Basically, the platform does whatever the fuck it wants. That's what Susan Wojcicki does. And it'd be nice to see her in a blender. And they enforce them do whatever they want, and they're compromisable. And that's the real threat, is that it's not just that the platform does what it wants to, it's that it's going to be beholden to whatever's controlling it, because they have no principles. This is Garrett Smith, and this is today's censorship, which is an age restriction censorship, brought to you by YouTube.